NLP is very useful because you understand how your brain is functioning, your own brain is functioning, and how can change that. The present situation of corona, people are fearful and things like that. That's only created by us in the brain. Understand that, because there are, if you see, some people are affected, some people are not affected. So those who are not affected, actually, there should not be any fear. But the fear is because what will happen tomorrow? Miss, it is a future you're talking about, which is actually not real. It is a virtual. So we'll talk about that. And in examination, administrators per se, unless you understand why people behave the way behave, unless you understand what is the purpose of this examination, and whether you are getting that purpose through that system or not, that you can only understand if you know how our brain functions or how the students brain function, and how why the students respond in a particular way in the exams. This complete system is being developed around that. So what I will do is I will take you through the what is NLP proper, and a few points in NLP, so that those who are not aware about NLP at all, they will at least know what is this neuro-linguistic programming. So I will share my screen. I have put on small presentation so that it is much easy for you, instead of just listening. If you fix up your eyesight also on that, the reason is very simple. At any time, your brain is bombarded with about 200 million bits per second. 200 million bits per second. The moment you close your eyes, still it is about 1 million bits per second. 100 million bits per second. This 50% of the bombardment is through visual, through your eyes. And that's why this is why people say presentation is much better or useful tool, because your 50% of the input is coming from your eyes. The moment you remove that 50% input, people start looking here and there, and you start getting other input. 50% is will still come. Okay. Some people will close the eyes, and after you close the eyes, half of the input is over. That is only still 100 million bits per second. But actually, our brain is capable of analyzing not more than around 2000 bits per second. Our brain is not capable of handling more than that. Our conscious brain, I'm talking about, and not subconscious brain. Subconscious brain has got tremendous capacity, because when you're talking, your food is being digested, something else is happening, your heartbeat is going on, your breathing is going on, all is in control mechanism. Somebody is controlling it, and your brain is controlling it. And when the brain is controlling it, it is using its some memory and some power there, but still you are listening now. But what you're listening is only coming to you through conscious mind. So conscious mind capacity is very limited, and therefore brain follows what is called as a delete, distort, and generalize process. Delete, distort, and generalize process. You'll find many times, even in the examination places, when you are actually students are given exam, many times it happens after the student comes out and say, "Oh my God, this was a question I didn't know. I just missed it. I just missed it." Why people miss it? Because that delete, distort, generalize process. And that's why there is a method of printing the exam paper or writing the exam paper, so that it is picked up by your brain within that capacity. Not that very many people have learned this particular thing, but we are doing it colloquially, what last year people did, before that what they did. But there is a scientific way in which the paper can be designed. It's printed. I'm not talking about questions, how they are printed on the paper, which sequence they are printed on the paper. Because many times what happens, you give the instructions on the top, 4, 5, 6 instructions. Many times student miss those instructions. Why does it happen? That there are 4 instructions in the top, and student they say answer any 3, and actually student lands up in answering 5, and then only realizes, oh my God, after coming out he realizes, oh, I have to only answer 3. And it is very, you will say that, oh, it is very clearly written on the top. Why you could not see? Because the way you are written and place where you are written is probably not right. The next time when you are actually reading the paper, just see whether these kind of things, whether they are applicable or not. Because a person should be able to read it. The best thing is you read it quickly and just pick up, close your eyes and think what you understood from that paper. You yourself will come to know whether the paper is printed or what I call it, formatted properly or not. There's a method of formatting to pick it up. So this all comes because our subconscious mind has got extremely limited capacity as compared to subconscious mind. And subconscious mind is busy all the time. Just to give you an example, at any time, even now, all of us, our brain is viewing, or in the brain, there are about 10,000 movies are going on. About 10,000 movies are going on in our brain at a time. 10,000, I'm talking about, not very small number. You have got access only one or two or three. For example, you got access to what I'm talking, listening. You got access to seeing what is happening on the screen. Maybe you got access to feel the breeze which you are getting it through the fan or something like that. You may have access of temperature. You may have few accesses will be you will be having, but actually there are 10,000 movies are going on in your brain. So therefore, you should be. Now I'm just going to share my presentation and we'll start with that. I'll run through that about 30 minutes or so. Now, first one is, can you see the presentation now, slide?
Yes, sir. We can see
Yes,
that. Introduction to NLP.
Right, right. So now first sentence, very interesting sentence. I like this sentence. If you are working hard and under stress, probably you are not using NLP. I always tell my staff, I had told even exam staff many times, if you're working hard, then you are not using NLP. Okay. Because we must use the power of our subconscious brain, not physical power of what we are doing it, running around, whatever you are doing it. If you do that, and you should allow it, that to do, making a sequence, making your SOPs, making your ordinance, making your systems is all right. We should do it, no doubt on that. However, your brain is capable of handling much more complicated stuff. So if you program your brain in a particular way, you will keep getting an indication right in time. Okay, that is a programming of a brain. Like I was just discussing someone a few days ago, that whatever I have to do, something urgent if I'm missing, I get in the morning, just before getting up, I get that thing in my dream. In other words, my subconscious wakes me up and tells me you're missing this. Do it now. The moment I get up, I write down that on a piece of paper. And that's a very important indication that some target are coming, something is happening, I missed something in the busy schedule. And that comes in the morning, just around about you're getting up. The next time you be watchful. When you're getting up, at that time, some thought comes to your mind that your subconscious mind has tossed it for you, because in the night time subconscious is doing uh, housekeeping work of your brain. Throughout the night, if you've got a good sleep, your housekeeping is going on in your brain. It requires 2 hours of sleep for housekeeping of your emotions, and about 4 hours of sleep for housekeeping of your body, cells, muscles, and all that. So total you need about 6 hours of sleep ideally, plus minus half an hour here and there. But you don't need really more than 6 to 8 hours of sleep, and less than 6 hours you'll be deprived of that particular housekeeping. That's the thing. Then you can do meditation or something else. So now, what is NLP? NLP, of course, long form is Neuro-Linguistic Programming. But what is it? It is a model how people think, model how, and learning from that. Then you can motivate the people to change their behavior. We are used to doing something over a period of time. Now, if you tell someone in your exam section, oh, no, this time instead of this, we'll do this, person will not agree first. And even if he agrees, he may not be able to do it. Actually, he will make the same, whatever he was doing earlier, same thing is likely to happen, because his behavior is already set. Now you have to change the behavior, and for changing the behavior, you're only giving lectures won't help. I'll give you a simple example. Somebody is smoker. He has got a habit of smoking. His behavior is fixed in that particular fashion. Any amount of lecture that smoking is injurious to health, it causes cancer or whatever happens, will not help. Person will not be able to give up smoking, because it is a change in behavior requires at subconscious level, and what you are giving lecturing is at conscious level. Conscious advice will not help. Even if you tie him up, particularly alcoholics and all that, they are put in the hospital, tied up physically. Now they won't be able to drink. That's fine. But their subconscious will force them keep thinking about it. And when they are discharged from the hospital, they will start drinking because you are not change that behavioral pattern. What is important is change the behavioral pattern for whatever you want to do. Change the behavioral pattern. Students are copying in the exams. You see that. Why they copy? They know that after copying, if they caught, there will be punishment and all that. Still, they do it. Why they do it? Because that is a behavioral pattern developed in your mind. If you change that behavioral pattern, student will not resort to malpractices. You can actually do the experiments and do it. Change the behavioral pattern. After that, ask him to give examination. I actually conducted these experiments in our MIT School of Business. And after that, keep the books and sheets in front of them and ask them, okay, start writing. They won't see it because they have changed the behavioral pattern. It's very interesting point. All teachers and all that we can see. They give a behavioral pattern the moment it changed, this will happen. Why do you think that open book exams, when the people give, actually you give open book exams and ask them to write and then actually put video and find out how many times he has referred the book. He hardly in 3 hours he doesn't even refer the book for 3 or 4 times. Those who score even good marks also. And the person who is referring only the book, he won't even pass. Why it happens? Because of the person who starts writing, of course, the book language will be much better, paragraphs will be much better, points will be much better, spellings are correct. But still, person will write without reading that because he has now developed a pattern in his mind. Whatever flows in his mind, he would like to write, and that comes better. That flow comes better, and therefore, all these kind of techniques, modern techniques of thing, help. Same thing is true for your multiple choice questions. You see that the person who scores a reasonably good marks, he doesn't revisit the questions. He will just keep going one by one, clicking, one by one, clicking, one by one, clicking. And after that, you give him 10 minutes to again go back, and all that marks don't change. Understand that first round which he does it, at that time he clicks because that's what your subconscious mind is giving you answer, and that's more likely to be right. So that is called a thinking pattern. And it is the integration of various things: psychology, linguistics, cybernetic, system theory, neurology. All these disciplines are combined in this NLP. What can NLP do? It can model or copy human excellence. If something is excellent happening somewhere, you can copy that. You can copy a human being person. If you know
Could be some technical issue. We wait for his presence. Hello. Probably got some technical issue. We wait for him. Jayesh,
Yes, sir.
can you reach out for him? Is there a technical?
He joined, sir.
Okay.
Sir, please unmute yourself.
Apte sir,
Okay.
please. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm audible. Okay. Right.
Yes, sir.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So this is where what I was saying, that is a model to copy human excellence in any form. If someone is doing better than you, the only thing, or you want to become like that, the only thing you can do it as per NLP is copy that person's behavior, observe and copy. But that's most difficult. If I tell you the X person is better, even if you realize so and so is much better in so and so thing, and I want to copy, or normally emotionally or with your ego comes in your way, and then you resist. You think that you are better, and therefore you resist. But you should just surrender and copy. There are five characteristics are required for good student, which NLP exercises said. I will mention that later. You should have five characteristics. If you have those five characteristics, you can learn anything, anytime. Okay. So to improve effectiveness at individual, team, as well as family. So now, where NLP is useful, of course, it is useful for anywhere where emotional mind, your brain, your subconscious mind is coming into picture. Anywhere it is useful. For example, communication, it is useful because communication is only through your mind, by subconscious to subconscious transfer. Consultation, education, management, negotiations, anywhere you're interacting with someone else or with yourself. You're interacting with someone else or yourself, that's the time NLP is useful. Public speaking, interacting with someone, even if you're prepared well, you get into panic suddenly in public speaking. Many of you would have seen that. The moment you start, you have to give a presentation and you feel confidence is gone away, although you have prepared well. Why it happens? It happens because of your emotional stress, which is developed, or anxiety, which is developed. I'll give a simple example how anxiety is developed and how person panics if he has not developed a habit or prepared. Just a simple example. Just now, what happened? My connection dropped. Okay, connection dropped, and I couldn't make out. Everything went black. Now, it happens many times. Nowadays, of course, we are having a Zoom or whatever, WebEx or something, connection drops. What happens after the connection is dropped? Just observe that next time. People start, and it is total drop is just about half a minute or 40 seconds or something. But in that, the amount of panic is created in the individual's mind. Just now it is dropped. I'm sure that many people would have suddenly, "Arey, kya kiya, kahan gaya, ye karo, wo karo." Instead of that, if you just sit quietly, all the people, and think what is wrong and work out. For example, the moment it went off, I looked at my connection. I found drop in connection. I put on my hotspot on the mobile. I connected, connection started. It came. It took about half a minute, 1 minute, whatever. But in that time, all of you, those who are here, some of you what got anxious. Ab kya karenge? Chala gaya, cut ho gaya. Okay. Most of you should have just kept quiet, taken a long breath, deep breath, maybe done some small prayers if you want to. But otherwise, just kept quiet. And things would have. It's not only here now, today I'm saying, to next time when is a big meeting going on and you see how people start panicking, and panic doesn't help in any way because the system will take its own time. The person should be alert and then immediately start working on that without getting in panic. You might have heard that story of cockroach theory. So many of you would have heard that, how that anxiety and panic creates a problem. There are a few ladies went to hotel and they were dining in. And at that time, suddenly one flying cockroach comes and sits on the shoulder of one lady. And the moment she sees that cockroach, she starts yelling, "Cockroach, cockroach, cockroach." And suddenly the cockroach jumps and sits on the other lady's shoulder, and she starts screaming. And there's a ruckus. Those 3, 4 ladies, they create a ruckus there because cockroach is moving from here to there to here, and they're shouting. Now the waiter comes quietly. He walks to them. He sees what is happening. He finds out what is the problem. He realizes this cockroach is sitting there, and that's why they're creating problem. He just watches the cockroach for a few seconds and quickly put the hands and grabs the cockroach in the hand, goes outside, and from window he throws the cockroach out. Now see, same cockroach, waiter behaved differently. Same cockroach, the ladies behaved differently. Ladies were reacting. Ladies were reacting to that cockroach, whereas the waiter was responding to the cockroach. Later was other person, that waiter was responding. Many times it happens in the exam section, last minute something happens, paper is not printed or wrong paper is printed, and wrong paper is distributed or whatever. There are some problems come on, and then or some particular invigilator doesn't come in time, and then time is coming close, and you can see the chaos. More the difficult the problem to solve. Okay, I remember once, say one of the exams earlier, I was just standing there, I was just moving, going there, just watching kya ho raha hai. And I found that there are two invigilators had come late. Means they are not come till that time. And there was a panic, call him, this thing, kahan hai, and all that was running around. And now slowly time is coming closer and closer, just 3 or 4 minutes left. And about 4 minutes were left. Now they were wondering what to do. So I told that whosoever is that senior supervisor or whosoever is there, and there was one pune was standing there, because there are punes are also there, water boys and punes or something. So there was one pune standing there. I told him, why you're panicking? Just give that bunch in this pune's hand. If by that time he goes to the classroom, then you decide and go, somebody else can go. Because has to go, make the people sit, ask them to keep your all bags away and all that. So he went there, he spent 5 minutes. By that time, the time come, before that, one person came, that invigilator running, whatever. Go there and take over the duty, and he has taken over the duty. But otherwise, you should have seen that panic. Now that person said, I asked you why you are panicking. It was simple. One pune was available, you should have sent. He said, "वो pune क्यों कैसे देगा?" Then I called that pune. I said, "आपका ये पढ़ाई कितना हुआ है?" So he says, "BA हुआ है." Here the pune has completed. Told him, okay, ask others invigilator what is his education background. That education background also graduation. I said, it just so happened that this person has joined as a pune, and that other person has joined as this person to go. I said, in the last minute, in panic, you should always do this. You can always change, isn't it? In military, it happens. There are some fighting people. They are non-combating people. But suppose the combatant person gets an injury, a bullet injury, and he collapses, and gun is lying there. What commander will tell? Commander will tell non-combatant, pick up the rifle and start firing. You may not be excellent shooter, but at least you will start firing. Other people will think that somebody is there to resist, and they will reduce their speed of coming approach. So that's what is required, that you should take the action. That's very important. And for examination section, it is very important that you don't get into panic, whatever happens. Because if something is wrong is going to happen, it is going to happen. Your panic is not going to stop it. Remember, the more you panic, more problems will be there. So, and then NLP, is it a therapy? No. It is only teaches us how our brain works. So we are only going to see how our brain works. This is a little bit of background just for your information. Quickly, I'll run through. It is a science that deals with the human being thinking and processing our outer world. How you think and process outer world, that's all. Transforms thinking pattern for excellence. What patterns are better and excellent, you should be able to change it. And I can tell you that our 90% of our work, at least around 90% of our work, at least 80%. Let me use the Pareto's law. Pareto's law is very famous, and it has been followed by even Japanese for centuries together. And Pareto has written this law subsequently. And 80-20 rule, you might have heard about this 80-20 rule. And that Pareto's law is applicable literally everywhere. Actually, earlier it was used for rice production by Japanese, but it is used by inventory management. It is used for financial spending. Is used for the HR assessment. That 80-20 rule works most of the places. So same thing works on examination section also, where it should not work. So that is 80% of the work in examination section can be done by anybody. Can be statement. But we are fussy that we say, no, only this person will do, only cap person will do. If he goes, then what will happen to my cap? All that happens. No. You give one few days, 2 or 3 days training to other person, and he will be able to pick it up. Yes, there are 20% of part for which you need a specialized people, for you need more training. But otherwise, 80% job, if you able to identify rightly what job, we can be, it improves your flexibility. It improves your flexibility. You're not dependent on few people. Just to give you an example, the person who does Xerox. If you give proper training, within 20 minutes, you can train another person. 20 minutes. You show me any person, whatever complicated Xeroxing you are doing for the paper, give me 20 minutes and one human being, and I'll exactly train him, provided I know how to train him. Okay. Same thing is for invigilators, supervisors. You see that supervisors and invigilators make so many mistakes. Names are written wrongly, up or down, sequences, this thing. So many things. A sticker is put somewhere else. All that they do it. You should be able to train that person to do correctly, provided you tell him all flaws, what can go wrong, what he should be careful about, and all details. What we do, we print a long list of 5 pages and hand over to him, and these are your instructions. Throw the 5 pages in his hand, and then he goes and do the work, and tell him that, oh, you must read correctly and all that. No, that doesn't work. You should be able to know what possible problems could come, and you should just alert him. This can happen. This can happen. This can happen. You should do this, 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 this. Only take your own time, and it will happen. Okay. In fact, I used to give one thing to the invigilators, instructions, when I was a director. I'll tell them, suppose if the paper is over at 5 o'clock, lock it up, room, and tell the students they will keep sitting down. They will not move from their place unless he arranges everything, sorts out everything, tallies everything. It would take 5 minutes, 7 minutes. Ask them to, but they can do the meditation of whatever it is. They will not move. And there was no problem. Because many problems happen in the last 5 minutes when people are going, people are coming, running, and you are collecting, and then you make some mistake. This happens. So now only instruction is be peaceful, no panic, ask the students to sit in their own place, and you take your own time. I'm not going to tell you that 3 minutes mein karo. Exam is already over. 3 minutes mein karo ya 10 minutes mein karo. How does it matter? I said, you take your time. Aram se karo. Ek count karo. All that. So this is what is important. You change your thinking pattern and train the person. It is developed in 1970s by two professors, Grinder and Bandler, in Santa Cruz University. Now, what is that? Neuro is a mental pathways. You've got 5 pathways and 1 emotions. Emotions are always stored in body. Many people make a mistake. They think that emotions are stored in our brain. Brain has got no idea of emotion. Brain has got a program kept there. Emotions are body. When you are fearful, brain will not feel anything. Your body will feel. Even your head, if you feel go mera garam ho gaya, but it's a physically head is the problem, not brain. Brain doesn't get heated up or something. It's probably your forehead gets heated up, something else happens. If you're angry, your ears will get heated up, whatever it is. So your body is the one which stores emotions, whereas brain stores the 5 senses: hearing, feeling, taste, see, and smell. We call it VACOM: visual, auditory, kinesthetic, olfactory, and gustatory. These are the 5 senses through which we receive the input from outside world and store it in our brain as a pattern. The pattern starts running if the trigger is operated. Whatever trigger is, the pattern starts running. The moment pattern starts running, emotions also start along with that. Okay, so emotions start along with that, but they are stored in the body. So this is a neuro. Linguistic is called our language. That is the ability to use language. Language doesn't mean English, Hindi, Marathi, or Gujarati or something like that. Language means what you get through 5 senses. Whatever input you goes to 5 senses. And now I'm talking. Although I'm talking in English, but you are getting the input from your ears. So it is the auditory input. It's an auditory input. When you are reading my slides, it is a visual input. A visual input, not only reading the words, it is also reading the way it is written, background, what is there, everything is reading. Eyes are picking that up. So that is a linguistic. Okay. And that linguistic reveals our thinking style, our beliefs and opinion. Our beliefs and opinion as well and thinking style is reflected through our words. In your own section, you will be able to tell who is the person who panics, who is the person who is cool, who is the person is so and so, who is person is, you are given symbols to those people. How do you know that? You're given symbols based on their thinking style and your opinion. And program there's again. The only way these habitual programs can be interrupted is you cut those connections from the program and start another program. We are going to see how to change it in short, simple way. Okay. These can be changed and upgraded. That's what is the point I'm making it here. Now, this is the way we perceive our world. World outside us is an objective reality. It exists. It exists, but we don't know really. If somebody says, "I know the world," no, you don't know. Yeah, you can't even you won't know even your wife or husband. Okay, you know only how much you get out of that. That's all. What is told. Actually, you don't know anything out of very less things you know. World is huge. Only through five senses you pick up whatever you pick up is converted to what is called as a subjective reality. Objective reality which exists is converted to subjective reality. That conversion process happens through the five senses. It is happening through five senses. Only through these five senses you can pick up. Nothing else you can. Suppose if you don't see something, you won't know also. What is there in my home here? You're not seeing it. You won't even know about it. So only what you can see, you will pick up. What you can hear, you can pick up. What you can taste, you can pick up. So through five senses, you pick up. After picking up, now obviously whatever the total world you have picked up, only small portion out of that. What you can do through five senses. That is through conscious mind. Conscious mind is the one which actually operates here. This conscious mind is absorbing the outside world, which is called the objective reality. Objective reality you do not know at all, because you only know the subjective reality is coming in. But after that, that is also not enough. That is, if somebody is saying that I know the entire subjective reality, no, that subject and it is formed as a symbolic reality. You convert that as a symbol. If you see the apple, as a child sees the apple, child doesn't taste it. It's just 1 year old baby, and he sees the apple. He sees a round shape. This is child. The apple is a round shape. Anything which is a round shape and maybe pink color or red color is an apple. Even if you give some plastic apple in the child's hand, child will pick it as an apple. Then one day child will eat the apple. At that time, child will know the taste of the apple. It is sweet. That's the time child's earlier apple symbol is added one more connection. That is a taste of the apple. Also, child will know the crunchiness of the apple, feeling, kinesthetic. Child will put that also in that. When your child is holding the apple, that softness on the outside also will be stored there. Now, with all that, apple is created. Still, child doesn't know the spelling of apple. Child doesn't know it is called as apple. Child only knows the round shape, red color, crunchy, and sweet is something. Now, one day you tell him this is apple. The child says, okay, child has only heard you saying apple. So that sound apple is this. Still, child doesn't know the spelling. Now, child goes to school and child knows A for apple. Child say, oh my God, that this is written like this is called as what I have seen, and it is the tasted the way it is, and this complete thing is programmed in your mind as a one group, and that is called a symbol. What happens is we give symbols to everything, but we tend to make a mistake that it is only symbol. Tomorrow, if I come and give you black fruit in your hand and I say this is apple, you'll refuse. You'll not accept it. I'll say, okay, taste it. Then I'll cut it and give you a piece. And if you taste it, and if it tastes like an apple, now you will believe that yes, this black. That is also connected with your red apple. So now you know apple can be red or black, taste in the same way. Okay, we know the green apples, we know the red apples, isn't it? But slowly we develop that because a symbol is developed. Same thing happens with our individual or human being also. We give a symbol to human being. If we say कोई बोलते ना ये काम चुकार है, काम नहीं करता है. It is only symbol you are given. You have seen something and given a symbol. And now, if one day he works properly, they will say no, 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 ये तो गलत है because it doesn't fit in that particular your symbol. They will discard it. You discard it. If somebody is lazy, you will say, oh, he is lazy. One day he does the work fast, and you will say, no, 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 it is actually is lazy, but abhi pata nahi kya hoga. Actually, you do it. Those who are punctual, one day you go late. No one will ask you. They will say, oh, he is a punctual, aaj kuch gadbad ho gaya hoga. The person who is regularly 5 minutes late, you tell him that tomorrow onwards 3 days you come in time. And people will still not believe that that person is coming in time. Because they already gave a symbol. There, this person comes late, and that's the symbol he carries. So you have to change that symbol, change that symbolic reality before making any opinion about the person. Then only people will be able to produce better. They'll be more effective. Because once you give a symbol and keep discarding somebody, then the problem starts. Visual, auditory, kinesthetic, olfactory, and gustatory. These are the 5 senses I talked about. Visual, there are many things. Visual, there are the words and watch, look, vision. These are the words we use. Auditory, we use the words like listen, sound, and all that. And this is very interesting because if the other person is talking in visual terms, oh, how does my plan look? How does my plan look? And the other person responds, oh, it sounds well. The first person will not understand that you appreciated his plan. But he is asking, how does my plan look? And you are responding in the auditory word that it sounds well. There's a mismatch between you and that other person. But if he says, how does it look? And I say, oh, it looks beautiful. Now that person understands it. So these words, if somebody is saying these words, you also respond as far as possible through that particular sense. Okay. How do you feel? I feel cool. That person will immediately appreciate what you are saying. You will develop a rapport. Instead of that, if I say, how do you feel? I said, beautiful. That chap will say, no, because I'm asking you feeling and you're telling me visual. It mismatches. I'm kinesthetic. You use the word kinesthetic, feeling. So you should also respond through feeling. If you can, it is much better. And easiest way is whatever the word other person is using, use that word. Easiest way. You don't have to be expert in NLP to find out that person is what kind of thing, etc. And then you can use it. But you just reiterate. You just say same thing again. Just respond. Isn't it beautiful? You say yes, it is beautiful. That's much easy because you are using his word. You are not changing the word at all. Now, how response changes by using NLP, that I'm going to just explain and then we are going to stop. It is done at subconscious level. Understand, whatever you do is at subconscious level. It cannot be suppressed by controlling or suppressing. You cannot punish the person and make him behavior change. I do not suggest that punishment should not be there or something. No, but punishment does not change the behavior. Punishment only tells him that if I do this, I'll get punished. That's all is learning. If you want to change the behavior, it has to be changed at subconscious level. Next is, it is not by advising or suggesting, because they are all conscious thoughts. Conscious lectures won't help. If somebody is alcoholic, any amount of lecturing won't help. If it was helpful, then most of the alcoholics would have come out of alcohol. Just give them 2 lectures and that's it. But it doesn't happen. Okay. Same thing is true for other cases also. If somebody is coming every day late in the class, in your office, or somebody is making a mistake in your typing or something like that, any amount of lectures will not help, because that person knows what is the time and what time he should come. He knows the wristwatch, he knows the watch, everything he knows. He is not a small child where he doesn't understand watch or time on the clock. He is coming late because his habit is developed for coming late. You need to change his habit. First, find out why it is, and then I'll tell you how habit also can be changed. Okay. How it can be changed? Given the next, connect the anchor to another desirable program. Connect the anchor to another desirable program. Some program is desirable, you connect it to that. Or write a program for an anchor. Whatever anchor is there, you write a new program. Or change the anchor by collapsing existing anchors. So these are the different methods. Okay, and then there are meta models and there are many other scientific methods for doing that. We'll not discuss on that. This I depicted, whatever I said. This is the anchor, this is a program. I don't want this program to run. The person who is coming late to the office, I don't want that program to run. So what I have to do is I have to write a new program. A new program is coming in time. New program is coming in time. And same program you connect it to his wristwatch or whatever it is. Now, how to change and write a new program? There are different ways. You can experiment. There are different ways. You start, the person who comes first, start giving him one chocolate or something. I'm just giving you a random example. Just start appreciating. Very good. You are come in time. Appreciate that person in front of others. Oh, this chap is coming in time. That's good. Give him a big hand. Now you are writing a new program in his mind. Okay. Or there are many ways of writing a new program. You decide what new program you should write. Or this particular program, this particular anchor is running the old program. You change it to the new anchor. This many people do it by, I'll just give you example, because I was talking about coming late and going in time. Some people set their watch 5 minutes or 10 minutes advanced. Many of you also may be doing. 7:30 every day you go to office, 7:30 you get late. So next day after some time, what you will do? You will put, instead of 7:30, 10 minutes आगे कर देंगे. So that 7:20 कोई actually 7:20 हो गया, but your wristwatch will show 7:30. So you will rush and go. But and if you run that program regularly, it will start running. I can tell you this. It will start running. Your brain won't calculate that I have done 10 minutes late, so now I should take 10 more minutes. No, you will go as per your wristwatch and you will reach in time. So this is this kind of thing. One anchor connected to the other anchor, you come here. Okay, so this is the way you change the program, change the method of you work. Now, the last one I'm talking about association and dissociation. And in exams, particularly papers and all that, you need to take action, particularly control of examination. They have to go to some complicated things where you have to take action, and whether you're whatever it is. So I'll just show you association, dissociation, only limited to this. Association means you go inside the experience and feel like a real experience. You're actually living that experience. You are involved emotionally. It is not good for learning. If you are involved in that, you cannot learn. If you have to take action against the person who has done wrong, and if you get involved emotionally, you won't be able to take action, or you won't be able to learn. It's not a good state for learning on yourself also, because you will start feeling bad and I've done the wrong thing and all that. The moment your emotion starts, the learning is gone. So you have to remove your emotions, keep away from the emotion. How we'll just see. In dissociated state, you are watching like a third party observer. If you've got a fight between you and your wife or you and your husband, what you do is sit on the other side after that on a chair and think as if you and your wife or husband, whosoever the two people were there, the two people are fighting with each other with the same dialogue, same tuning, same actions. But you are not there. You are watching them as if it is happening on the video show, TV. Somebody has recorded it and playing it. And think about it by remaining outside without getting involved as a you. And you will learn a lot. You will understand why this problem started, why fight start. Same thing is true for boss and his junior. If boss shouts at you, at that time you will not be able to understand. No learning will come out of that because you are cursing the boss. You are feeling bad about it. Your ego is hurt. Your self-esteem is hurt. What do? After that is over episode, go and sit on your chair and think that boss is shouting at you. You are different. I am sitting here seeing myself being shouted by the boss. So I am seeing boss, I am seeing myself. Both of them there, I am watching them. I am watching them as a third party. And now if you go through the all conversation, he's saying this, he's responding this, his body language, all that you like a video show, you run it in your mind as a third party, as a video show. And you will start learning. You will understand what happened wrong and you will be able to correct it. But as long as you are inside, you will not be able to correct it because your emotions are on. Okay, so this is what we talk about. That bias we have to remove. Now, this is depicted by the picture. This is the associate state. You are exactly the other person. This is one person, and you are thinking exactly like the other person, going in his body, going in his mind, thinking like him, all feelings, back off. Visual, auditory, kinesthetic, olfactory, gustatory, everything you are experiencing the way it is. Whereas in dissociated state, only visual and auditory is on, like a video show. No kinesthetic, no emotions. So it is happening on TV. So how will you have emotion? No olfactory, no smell because you are watching it. No taste because you are watching it on the TV. For example, on the TV, if somebody is eating pizza, you won't get a taste of that. Somebody is eating ice cream, you don't get a taste of that. कौन सा flavor ice cream का है? Or hero is eating ice cream, तो अपने आप जो भी खाएगा खाएगा. That kind of thing. So you are watching it, but you can still see, you can still listen. Visual and auditory is on. If you do that, you will be able to get dissociated. This is excellent for learning, judgment, etc. This is excellent for understanding the other's viewpoint. This we call it normally in managerial jargon, putting yourself in somebody else's shoes. They says put yourself in somebody's shoes. The word uses empathy, but empathy is not necessarily good every time. If you catch somebody doing malpractice, empathy is a wrong thing to do have at that time. Because the moment you empathize, you won't be able to judge. So this is what is there. So in the last slide, I'm just showing this. This is working on yourself. We are mainly talking about working of others. Working of yourself helps when you're under stress or you want to reduce stress, you want to reduce depression and all that. For that, working on yourself. But if you're dealing with your subordinates, your students, your teachers who are setting papers and all that, working on others. Now, working on others, there are sometimes you have to be associated, sometimes you have to be dissociated. When you are associated, empathy. If teacher says, sir, we have got a problem here, we don't have place to sit our time and our this computer and all these problems, at that time empathize with these people. Then only you will understand their problem. Otherwise, you will say, hai na, wo dekho, thode time ke baad aao, come after 1 hour. We are open up to 8 o'clock. You can come in the night 8 o'clock for setting paper. When you are saying that, you're not empathizing. You understand that lady, she has got a child at home, she has got a cooking to do, and you say that, oh, I don't have computer, come in the night 9 o'clock. It's not empathizing. That person will not be helpful to you subsequently. He'll say, ye to dushman hai hamare. So you should empathize with that. You should understand what is their problem, and you can only understand if you go into their shoes. So this is empathy is required. Or grievance. Your subordinate comes and tells you about grievance. Ye ho gaya, I have this thing, this chap has said this, etc. I'm very cut up. I want to go or whatever it is. Even some people resign also. That's the time grievance handling. You should association. Empathize with that person. Feel that what that person is feeling. You should feel that person, then only you can empathize. And rapport. If you want to have a good coordinated efforts, you should have excellent rapport with other person. Our control of examination will be able to vouch. Those who don't know me physically here, those who know, they will vouch for that. You give me a work, I get the work done from anybody on this campus. Not because I'm pro Vice-Chancellor. Not because of that. You just tell Kisar that person is not cooperating. I give a ring and he will cooperate.
Absolutely right,
Whether
sir.
it is a yeah. Why it is so? Because I have developed an excellent rapport with these people. The moment I tell, they will be waiting for that job to be done. Some people even call me, sir, आजकल हम काम ही नहीं कोई बताते. You're not even my section. Why should I tell? No, no, sir, कुछ भी काम है तो बताओ. It's like the people who have left this job and gone. There are a few people earlier. Those people call me once in a month, sir, कुछ काम दे दो. I said, here you are working in some other organization. मैं आपको क्या काम दे दूं? He said, नहीं नहीं sir, कुछ भी काम दे दो. I am ready to do that. So that is because of rapport. And how rapport develops? I'm associated with that person. He knows that I understand him. I understand his feelings. Okay. And I will help him. And if I help him, he will obviously help me in the reverse way. Anyway, anyone for that matter. You know, you in your exam section. But sometimes I tell the people that from your faculty, I can get the job done better than you. They will follow my order than your order. Not that because of my position or something, because that person knows that I'm coming to him, means I'm in the trouble and he has to help me, then and I'm grateful to him. So 5 qualities होती है. एक है open mind. You always should have open mind to learn. Second thing is humbleness. Humility, जिसको बोलते हैं humble. I'm humble. You people know that if I come to your place and any section, and I'll ask Pune also कि मुझे बता दो कैसे करना है. I'll just keep watching him. कैसे करते हो यार? ये कैसे दबाते हो? You'll see that when I'm learning, I'm completely humble. Even that person is not having a degree, doesn't matter. He's teaching me, I mean, I have to be humble. Then I'm grateful to that person. The person who teaches me, I'm grateful to him. Whatever he has told, that is the third quality. Fourth quality, you should be discerning. Vivek jisko bolte hain. What is right and what is wrong. You should be always with right things. I do it because not because I told. In fact, many times you would have seen also the people. I argue on something and you say something else, and I agree with you and do it. I got no ego in that, because why I do it, because I feel you're right. If you're right, then it has to be done that way. Whosoever is there. So that is the rapport. On the other hand, you have to be dissociated in these cases. Judge, referee. You have to be dissociated. If even Sachin Tendulkar is out, referee has to raise his hand. He cannot say, "Arey Sachin Tendulkar kaise out ho gaya first ball pe." Nee, out ho gaya, out ho gaya. It's as simple as that. So that is a judge, referee, counseling. If you are counseling somebody, then you should be detached, because you are going to give him an opinion, a third party opinion. That's why he has come to you. And neutral advisor. If somebody asks me advice, I will give the right advice. I'll give right advice, whether it is helpful, it is for him, not. That person get annoyed with me, it doesn't matter. If the person has asked me advice, I'll give advice. Somebody may get angry also, doesn't matter. You have asked for advice. I'm not going to get him advice. It happens in many places here also. Somebody asks my advice, I give it, and then the person says, "Sir, aap aise kaise bol rahe?" I said, "Well, you asked me for advice. I didn't give it. I didn't come to you." So with this, I stop, and I'll ask you 3 questions. Did you enjoy today's session? Did you learn something new? And do you think it would be useful for you in your life? Thank you very much. So this is the way. These are called as affirmative queries. These 3 questions are affirmative queries. If you take any lesson with anybody, any lecture, etc., you do it for your staff, ask these 3 questions. These questions will, whatever you are told, that will remain in their subconscious for long, and it will be further developed only because of these 3 questions. Because person, like today, after 1 hour, person on these 3 questions, person will thinking, did I enjoy? Oh, yes, I enjoyed. What did I enjoy? He'll keep asking, and he'll find some enjoyment. Did I learn something new? The moment they ask question, I ask the student every lecture. I ask this question at the end to student. Did you learn something new? Now that person says, what is new? And I'm sure that entire 1 hour something was new. Now he starts thinking about new. Or do you think it would be useful for you in your life? I have not told him what is useful for your life, but you will now start thinking, whatever I talked, which one will be useful for your life in where? And that's my job. My job is to, why I gave this lecture? Not to show that I know something better or something like that. No, this should be useful for your life. If you can find some use, that's always good. Welcome. So with that, I stop. These are the two books which I shown it. They are available on Amazon. If somebody wants one, this is on NLP and this is on Hawaiian Una. Thank you very much. I'm stopping sharing. If anybody wants to ask anything, that person can ask. Otherwise, we can over to you.
Thank you.
Dr. Raghavendran. Yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. It was a very insightful session for for all the exam control of examinations. Must say, there are a lot of chat boxes been coming up with. It was very insightful, informative. Very you actually took all the controls of examinations in a way that we always be very steady in nature. We always see to that very strict kind of it, but you actually opened up in a different ball game that discipline can be also done in a looking into in a dissociated manner. I'm pretty sure that myself as well as the fellow colleagues of mine from the various parts of India, various parts of university will definitely going to apply. And there are a lot of requests for the personal WhatsApp windows here. They want to your phone number so that they could able to have a session with their colleagues.
Yes, you can give you can share my number to them, whichever platform. Right. If they want to write, I can tell them right now also. My number for calling is if you want WhatsApp number, then 830 8550 400 830 8550 400. That's my WhatsApp number. So they can send me message. They can they want to learn something. They want to share my experience. They want to share their experience. I'm always open.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And there are around.
I do the talk on happiness and things like that. I do conduct lectures on happiness, relieving stress, and relationships, teamwork on that. Yes.
Faculty members, control of examinations, do you have any questions so that our sir can able to answer you people?
Yes, I have one question.
Yes, Dr. Durendra Bharadwaj.
Okay. So good evening, sir. Fantastic lecture, no doubt. I enjoyed
Thank you,
a lot.
Thank
but I have one doubt. I was listening very carefully.
Yes.
When you said we should be empathetic with the situation, with the students, everything. Now, very important paradox happens with the teachers. Suppose I teach well for a few courses. Since I'm teaching well, right, my feedback is good, I get more courses. Then at the same time, there is a pressure which I'm inviting. So accidentally, what people do, they keep teaching as an average. They do not take initiative, so much initiatives. Now, what as a controller, what as an administrative position, we should motivate people so that they should not compromise with the teaching quality. And definitely, they should be logical and emotional with the students.
You're right, sir. This is a good point, good question from the point of view of human behavior. Actually, they say work attracts work. Work attracts work. The person who does the good job, he'll get more work. But that person, if that person enjoys job, he should keep enjoying. He should not creep. And even if he's creeping, from his heart he's enjoying. Don't worry about that. Okay. So work attracts work. So what happens is, this is okay for that individual. Okay. It's okay for the individual. Like here, our Raghavendran Saab, they will tell me what kind of jobs I have been doing it here. If I actually explain you, or what kind of jobs I'm doing now, I'll explain you. You see, is this the one person or 10 people, or what are they doing? What is he doing? Because if you see, my travel is from administration onwards, means simple basic administration like building maintenance, maybe they will ask me, and a complicated thing like a research or teaching also, or FDP also, they will involve me. But it's okay. I got a 24 hours max, or maybe for the office I left say 8 hours or nine, whatever number, 8 or 9 hours. Only in that they can fit it. They can't tell me to come in the night 12 o'clock and do it. So as long as that I'm happy. I know that my this 8 hours are given to the institute. Whatever time, whatever you give me, one lecture, two lectures, three lectures, some other admin jobs, I have to fit in that. And the other person also knows that I have to fit it in that. So only pressure what you come, that is our subconscious pressure. We unnecessarily carry that pressure. So when the person is giving you more and more jobs, that person also knows that your time and he knows that. So don't get perturbed. Okay, that person knows when to stop and when to go. That is number one from individual point of view. If you happen to be like that, that you're attracting the work, don't worry, keep taking the work. More responsibility, more power. Like I told you that I can get a job, anything done on this campus from anybody. There are about 1500 staff. You tell me to get a job done from Mali also, I'll get the best job done from the Mali. Because वो Mali मेरे लिए काम करेगा, आपको तो बोलेगा नहीं नहीं है नहीं. मैं बोलूँगा भाई ये चाहिए, immediately कहीं भाग दौड़ करके वो लाके देगा. Why it is happening? Because I'm accepting responsibility. तो कहीं ना कहीं I'm using that power. Because responsibility आ गई तो authority आ जाती है. Automatically छोटी आ जाएगी but आ जाएगी. Sri Ravi Shankar also says that accept the responsibility, because responsibility gives you authority and power. Accept responsibility. That is from your individual point of view. Now consider you as a boss or as a controller of examination, and now there are some people who are doing good job, and you give them more. Then they are doing some, and then any good job comes, you give it to him. That is incorrect from boss point of view. If your boss, the people who are not doing that much of job or just doing the probably as you say lectures, they are not doing properly, etc. What is easiest way for us to out is take the lecture from him and give it to somebody who does it. Don't do it. That is our mistake. Bosses do. Bosses remove the responsibility from one person because he's not doing a work and then give it to somebody. No. There you got two options. One is tell that person, teach that person, and say that it is only your job. Nobody is going to help you, and make that person to do the job. That is number one. Number two is find more complicated job for him, may not be so important for you, and give it to him. And that person will do it, and then he will come back and say, "Sir, I'll do that." Because you are given the job which is boring to him, and now he'll realize that he has to do it efficiently. That is the case where the person is avoiding the work. Okay, avoiding the work. Give him the odd job which actually indirectly troubles him, whichever made. So you have to be intelligent. If somebody is scrounging or not doing intentionally, you should be able to catch and fix that person. That is your boss point of view. But if he's really incapable, you train him and make him capable. So have I answered your question, sir? And in any case, 80-20 Pareto's law always works. 20 people do 80% work and 80% people do 80% people do 20% work. It's a universal law. You and me cannot change it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, sir. You know, Pareto law even works in economics also, the wealth creation and the wealth dissemination
That's
also.
right.
Absolutely. Is there any other question? I hope Dr. Gurendranath Bharadwaj, sir, he answered your question. Sir, he is from NIT University from Rajasthan.
Oh, that's nice. That's good. Good.
So today we have around 31 universities, control of examinations, sir, from from Delhi to down south to Madurai, and from West Bengal to from up to Pune.
That's good.
We all
And I must say that the control of examination job is the most important job in the entire cobweb of your university, because that's the place where final inspection is done or product is out. It is like a car manufacturing. There are people are manufacturing and all that assembly, all that is there. But finally, there is one person who checks the car is running all right or not, and it gives a product to consumer. Consumer gets that product. It is up to that last person, quality control, who is doing it. And this is the quality control of not normal IQAC team or something we are talking about, or university quality control. I am talking about quality of a human being, that is a student. You are the one who are checking the quality of your human beings, that is your students who are coming out. If their quality is good, the consumers will be happy outside with your university. If the quality is bad, they are going to finally university is bad. That is the thing. So you got a very important job. Plus, it is some kind of risk involved in this job. If I don't teach for 2 hours well, it will not come in the newspaper. I'm a teacher also, so I know that. But if one paper is leaked, it will come in the not only use newspaper, it will go to any extent.
Absolutely
Okay,
right.
so it is so sensitive. Sensitivity is very important, and therefore I always tell my exam people: if you give 2 days late, I'm not worried, but you should give correct, perfect information. You don't have to reverse your decision anytime, because the moment you reverse, people will start feeling not only you're inefficient, people will start feeling that you are having some hidden interest. So remember this: one day late, world is not running away. I always tell the people. Sometimes you get this pressure from other places, even university. राघवेंद्रन सर knows कि 3 दिन में करना है. That till then 3 नहीं 4 दिन हो गए तो कोई problem नहीं. Okay, एग्जाम के दिन एग्जाम होना चाहिए, but पेपर चेकिंग 15 दिन की जगह 16 दिन लग गया तो sky is not falling. Students में चिल्लाएंगे, ये सब होगा, but nothing is going to fall. But one wrong result, even if you give instead of 15 days, you complete it in 10 days, and one wrong result, and you'll have problem. So you should know that it is a quality wala check. It has to be perfect, nothing short of that. Okay.
So thank you, sir.
Anything else?
Yeah, as the time is running short, I'm pretty sure that there are a lot of questions. So you might write a questions to me so that I will keep before our group captain Apte sir, Pro Vice-Chancellor, MIT World Peace University, and I will definitely come back to us in writing. I'm pretty sure about it. Sir, on behalf of Council of Examiners India, I deeply thank you for taking out your precious time and joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, and giving a lot of insightful as well as the information about NLP. A very long way to go, sir. I'm pretty sure that today we learned something about basics. As earlier you said that we require 18 to 20 hours is more important to understand, at least at the micro level of NLP. We will definitely look forward for the bigger events, sir. So a session from US, so that let it be like a workshop itself rather than having a session only on NLP, sir. So with these few words, once again, I thank you. I thank you all Control of Examinations for being part of it, including our exam department staff, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you, sir.